Hazel. Yeah, with hazel brown hair, obviously. Can you believe I was just 5 years old when I went to my first nightclub? Yep, my dad was one of a kind.
Darling, are you dressed up for date night?
And he never changed. Ever.
Ready for date night, darling?
Dad, come on, this is your 129th date. And I'm old enough to stay home alone now, so please, just go.
Fine. But listen, no matter who I meet tonight, you're still my #1 girl, alright?
Dad wasn't lying. He dated N number of women, N number of times. But there's only one he's truly committed to. Me. But that made me feel guilty sometimes. Dad, why don't you try to get serious with someone? I know Mom left the moment I was born, but that doesn't mean you have to be single and sad with me your whole life.
Single and sad? Darling, relationships are sad. They just bring pain and tears. But now you're looking at the happiest man in the world. Woohoo!
And that stuck with me. I decided I was going to be happy doing whatever I wanted, however I wished. All was cool until one of Dad's dates, Laura, started messing things up.
Honey, I can't believe I never asked you this before, but would you like to go to school? You know, the real one with principals and desks.
No? Why, Dad? You don't want me at home anymore? Or is it because someone else doesn't want me here?
Darling, don't blame Laura. She just means well.
Then, just 10 days later, I found myself standing in the middle of a boring school, surrounded by a bunch of kids with different hairstyles and personalities. Out of nowhere, I felt a tap on my shoulder. A pretty girl standing alone in the middle of this school? You must be new here. Come, I'll show you around. I'm Minnie, by the way. Minnie and I spent the day hanging around the school. I knew she was going to be my first real friend, but I felt there was more to Minnie than what I saw. We laughed together, studied together, but she never told me about her family. Never. Not even where she lives. Are you close with your family? You never really mention them. It's complicated. Don't stress your beautiful brain with that. Oh, did you smile at the baseball captain, Mike? Now he's telling everyone that the new billionaire girl in school is his girlfriend. Really? That sounds interesting, but I'm not that interested in dating, though. The first few days were a breeze. I quickly became the most popular girl in school and was getting tons of proposals every new day. But then one day, Mike hit me with the biggest twist ever.
Hazel, at first I thought you were just passing by my life, but now I realize that you are my life. Would you be my partner for the annual winter dance next week?
Huh? You mean dancing? Sure, I love dancing. The moment I said it, the entire cafeteria erupted. Cheers, whispers, and gossip flying everywhere. Wait, this wasn't like I accepted his love proposal. Or was it? Hazel, you did read the flyer I sent you about the annual winter dance rituals, right? No? Why? What rituals? It turned out that every pair in the dance that night was meant to be together until the end of school. Sounds romantic, right? Not for me. That night, I researched 100 polite ways to say no to someone, but nothing helped when I saw Mike face to face the next day.
So, when do we start rehearsing for the dance? I'm so excited, you know. When?
How about never? Well, that was only the first of my many breakups. As days went by, some even started calling me a heartbreaker, but that was fine. I just didn't want to complicate my otherwise fine life. But as time went by, one thing or the other tried to warn me that I was leading towards a miserable life. But I was not going to take it. My 16th birthday was going to be so lit. I had invited everyone at school and thought my house was not going to be enough to hold the crowd. But boy was I wrong. I walked down all dolled up, only to see Dad and Laura standing with a 10-tiered cake. None of the people I had expected turned up. Not even Minnie.
Hazel, honey, listen, this day is gonna be amazing, I promise.
I saw red and ran back to my room and slammed the door shut. Hey Hazel, wish you a happy birthday. I'm sorry I can't make it to your party. This is the first time I'm seeing my boyfriend's parents, so I couldn't say no. Hope you understand. Wow, now everybody has some important stuff in life, other than attending my party.
Are you okay, Hazel?
I am okay, alright? But she wouldn't take it. She had made up her mind that I was a lonely, depressed kid who needed to be taken care of. She handed me a wrapped box. I tore it open, expecting something remotely fun, but instead, a flute. Flute? I don't play the flute, though. Playing flute was one of the things that can make me feel at ease. You should give it a try. Laura sounded honest and emotional. Kind of made me see her differently. Before I could react, suddenly loud crackers burst from outside the window. Then I saw my name written in the sky. Oh my god! Is it? Yes, your dad. He loves you so much. We all do. Later that night, I was practicing my first broken tune when I heard a reply from outside, and it sounded so well trained. Who was playing? I opened the window, put on my slippers, and sneaked out. The deeper I went into the nearby woods, the louder the mysterious tune became. I must be getting close. But right after a few steps, my slippers slipped and I fell into a muddy puddle. So much for peace and flute. I struggled to get back on my feet when a hand reached out to me from the dark. Ah! Ghost!
Ah! You're a ghost?
No, what? I meant you. When I finally saw him clearly, I realized he was a boy my age, standing under the giant oak tree. Turned out he was Sven, a boy from the local tribe who lived on the other side of the wood. And apparently he was the one who played the flute. We did some talking, and I told him about my so-called birthday party. For the first time, someone actually paid attention.
Birthday, you say? Just wait here.
He left me and ran somewhere deep into the woods. Then suddenly, I heard loud twigs snap and footsteps approaching me. I was pit scared and closed my eyes tight. When I opened them, a bunch of little kids dressed like tribals stood around me with fruits and flowers.
Now this is how you celebrate a birthday.
He started playing his flute. Some played drums, and for what seemed like hours, we were all laughing and dancing like it was the best party ever. It was nearly dawn when Sven walked me back home. Thank you. Goodbye then?
Goodbye. And if you ever want to spend some time here, walk up to this mark and play your broken tune.
Rude, but fine. I'll come by.
Also, hey.
His crystal green eyes gazed into mine. My heart skipped a beat. Phew! What was it that I just felt? I no longer wished to explore that feeling, so I sprinted home. But I surely knew I was going back to his place very soon. The next day at school, I wasn't even that mad at Minnie when she apologized for missing my birthday bash. It's alright. Can't say it was a bad day after all. Oh my! Look at your face! Are you blushing? Gosh, no! You know me. Nothing serious. I did meet a nice boy, but I'm keeping it low-key for now. Nothing's official. You have to tell me everything later. Promise? I promise. A week passed, and one evening as I reached home, a big shock awaited.
We're getting married!
What in the world? My dad, the man who used to say commitment is hell, was gonna marry someone?
Hazel, look. You probably think I'm some witch who has come to separate you from your dad, but I'm not one. I really care for you. I love you and your dad. But if you don't want this, we won't go through with it, I swear.
Laura, you're nothing like the past women my dad dated. Whatever you did for Dad or me, it came from your heart. I trust you. Happy for you, old man. But remember, I'll always be your number one girl. You better keep it to your heart.
Of course, darling. Of course.
Although I said yes, my heart was troubled, and I needed to vent. I went to call Minnie, but then I spotted my flute on the table. You know how a girl's heart works. I took my flute and went out to the woods. At first, there was nothing, just the rustling trees and my own echoing notes. But then I heard it, his perfect flute tune. As the song got louder and closer, my heart started beating faster.
Boo! Bet you didn't see this coming.
Oh, thank you. This is so nice. Well, today is full of surprises. I told him about my dad's wedding plan, and he was super excited. He even started sketching out the decor ideas.
That tree right there has some amazing pink flowers, perfect for a dreamy wedding.
Then he took me to a beautiful large tree that stood in the middle of the woods. He whistled and suddenly 100 birds flew out of that tree, shedding tons of pretty pink flowers on us. Dreamy, I know! I twirled around like a happy kid, but I suddenly slipped. Luckily, Sven caught me just in time. In his arms, I felt my feet slipping and my mind racing. Well, it's official then. I'll tell my dad you'll do the wedding decor.
Sure, and hey, never think you're alone. I'm here. I'm so glad you came today.
That was sweet. If I stood there a minute longer, I'd hug him, so I smiled and walked away. Days passed. Sven and I had become super cool friends by then. We even built our own little wooden shed by our favorite tree. Maybe, just maybe, I was starting to fall for this guy. Dad's wedding day arrived. Everyone appreciated the decor Sven was doing in our garden. No one's gonna believe this is a small urban garden. Look straight out of the woods. Told ya, that's the magic of the guy you're about to meet. Sven! Sven?
Minnie?
Somebody tell me what's going on.
She's my twin sister.
Holy crabs! I was falling for my best friend's brother?
I wished I could disappear into the air right then, but it was time for the wedding. Minnie and I stood quiet, a million questions burning inside. Was Minnie from a tribal background? Was that why she refused to speak about her whereabouts all along? I was in a Rich Go cover, okay? I wanted to blend in. You don't have to explain, Minnie. We're all past those silly misunderstandings. Maybe, but this has to stop.
What do you mean? Your rich friend's off limits to me now?
Not that, Sven. You don't know about her. No offense, Hazel, but I can't just stand by and watch you break my own brother's heart like you do with every other guy.
Minnie, she's nothing like you know of her.
You don't know what she'll do to you, Sven. Enough! Can't you take your sibling fight elsewhere? I need to leave. What a pretty mess I've fallen into. And worse, Sven was growing on me and I had just started feeling something that might lead to a true relationship. Now I must give that up for Minnie? Tears rolled down my eyes as I quickly slid through the dancing crowd straight into my room. Soon after, there was a knock. Not now, Dad!
It's me, honey. Sorry, I saw you running and I had to break in.
I don't know what got into me, but I just hugged her and cried my heart out. She felt like a mother I wish I had. After hearing everything, she had a perfect idea. You think that'll work?
Sometimes, Hazel, the only way to know who's real is to test them.
Her words echoed in my head, sounding so simple, so brave. But as I sat on my bed, phone in my hand and Minnie not answering, a knot of dread tightened in my chest. If she wouldn't pick up, maybe Sven would. Sven, I've made my decision. I need to go. I can't be the reason you and Minnie drift apart.
You can't leave. What about everything we built here? I'm sorry if this wasn't obvious before, but I really like you, Hazel. Please, I'll talk to Minnie.
I'm sorry, Sven, but it has to be this way. Minnie wasn't entirely wrong. I had broken many hearts in the past, so maybe this is what I deserve. Getting my heart broken. Just so you know, I liked you too. That's why I must go. He held my face, and we got so close to having a moment when it started raining. I got to my senses and backed away. I ran out of the woods, Sven following me.
Hazel, please don't hurt yourself like this.
I crossed the road to my house when suddenly a car screeched right behind me. Sven was in the middle of the road, staring blankly. I rushed to push him away. He fell on the other side as the car sped away. Well, I got some bruises in the process, but the best thing was I saved Sven. Sven and Minnie came to visit me, but this time Minnie didn't look guarded. She didn't look like someone trying to protect her brother from me. She looked like my best friend.
Well, that's a relief. Though I did bring these in case you still needed some convincing.
I think I'm already convinced. You two are annoyingly cute. I'm sorry I was such a jerk. Sven told me everything just now. You shouldn't leave. I can see that you have true feelings for him. It's all right, Minnie. I won't let you down. We all laughed, and for the first time in a long while, I truly believed in a love that was real. Even if messy, it was honest and quietly beautiful.
The day my life imploded started off perfectly. It was my 17th birthday party, and there I stood, looking like a Teen Vogue cover girl, surrounded by adoring fans. Friends. The dress? Custom made. The cake? A literal 3-tier masterpiece that probably cost more than my grandmother's house. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Spoiled rich girl alert? I'm not, I swear, so please keep watching. Anyway, I was about to blow the candles when, bam! The front door slammed open and a swarm of FBI rushed in, and then chaos. Sorry to interrupt your party, but Mr. Monroe, we need you to come with us. You're under arrest for fraud. What? My dad is not a criminal. Tell them, Dad. My dad was one of the richest businessmen in the city and the most honest man I knew. There was no way, agents. I'm sorry, Gabby. But how? At this point, everyone had their phones out, recording, and I just wanted to disappear. But the universe wasn't done ruining my life, because as my dad was led outside in cuffs, an agent turned to me. We're freezing all your dad's accounts and seizing all his assets, and that includes your home. Please vacate before the end of the week. And just like that, my perfect life shattered into a million tiny, embarrassing pieces. Happy friggin' birthday to me. A week later, I stood in the grand foyer of our house. Except now, it wasn't ours anymore. Everything was gone. The furniture, the artwork, all packed up and hauled away by the government. All I had left were my clothes and a few photos of my family. I miss you so much, Mom. Dad will be gone for a long time, so I'm going to live with Grandma on her farm. Growing up, it was just Dad and me. Mom had passed away when I was just a baby, and now, sitting alone in the empty room, I couldn't help but wish she was still here. But I knew I couldn't spend the whole day feeling sorry for myself. I had to start a new life. My new home smelled like dirt, goats, and emotional damage. The main house was so old, like probably haunted old. And don't even get me started on Lucifer. And who's that, you ask? He was Grandma's insane, possessed donkey who apparently had a personal vendetta against me. First, he ate my Chanel bag. Then he bit my butt when I tried to lock him in his shed. I was ready to forgive all that. But then, a few days later, Lucifer followed me to school on my very first day. I tried everything to make him leave. Throwing sticks, fake crying, negotiating, but he didn't budge. And just when I thought my morning of suffering couldn't get worse, a motorbike pulled up, and the hottest guy I'd ever seen slid off the bike. Guys, do me a favor. Close your eyes and picture this. Dark hair, sharp jaw, annoying smirk. Probably walked off a book cover on Wattpad. Got it? Now picture me. My face, tomato red, annoyed, and talking to a donkey. Nice ride. Is he like a therapy donkey? As I was busy thinking of a response, Lucifer chose that moment to relieve himself on the pavement, and the guy lost it. Jace, what did you do to the new girl? I didn't do anything. She's the one who brought a donkey to school. I didn't bring him. He followed me. Classic Lucifer. Wait, you know him? Everyone knows him. Lucifer, home, now. And much to my surprise, the demon donkey turned and walked away. Whoa, I can't believe you did that. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm Maddie, by the way. Gabby, nice to... And I'm Jace, single and available. More like single and contagious. Stay away from this one, new girl. I definitely will. And I totally plan to. You see, I'd met many guys like Jace, and they were nothing but trouble. So, for the next few days, I stayed away from Jace and his perfect face. But the more I avoided him, the more nagging he became. Like this one morning, I just sat at my desk when I smelled trouble and peppermint gum. You know, scientists say chemistry is all about reactions, and I'm getting a very interesting reaction from you right now. Don't you have anything else to do? Nothing else I'd rather do than make you smile. You're annoying. And you're gorgeous. Okay, that kind of made me smile, which, of course, Jace took as an invitation to move his seat next to mine. A few weeks later, I was settled in my new school, and had even started looking forward to seeing Jace, when, out of nowhere, I received an anonymous text. I know your secret. Let's play a game. Or else. Attached to the text was a photo of me on the day of the FBI raid, with my face in full view. No. No one here is supposed to know. I could just imagine the looks I'd get at school. Everyone would treat me like a criminal just because of Dad. Jace would probably never speak to me again. The next morning, I walked into school, terrified. Who was the anonymous texter? A hacker? Someone from my old life? Lucifer, the revenge donkey? Okay, that was unlikely, but not off the table. All morning, I checked my phone for a follow-up message. Nothing. Weird. Maybe it was just a sick prank. But then, right before lunch... Ding! New message. Go to the cafeteria and dump your lunch on yourself, or everyone finds out. Excuse me? What kind of psycho? Another message came in.
I'll be watching.
When the lunch bell rang, I stood in the cafeteria, holding my lunch tray and wondering what to do. If I ignored the blackmailer, my secret would be out. If I did as they asked, I'd humiliate myself in front of the entire school. You look like you're about to throw up or punch someone. Both. You okay? Yep, totally fine. Just reconsidering my entire existence. And with that, I did it. Eyes closed, I lifted my tray and dumped spaghetti and soup all over myself. At first, the cafeteria went dead silent. And then the place erupted. Oh, snap! Way to make a statement, Gabby. Let me guess, TikTok challenge? Actually, yeah. How's that for viral? Enjoy the show, everyone! That was iconic! Unhinged, but iconic. I knew I liked you for a reason. I forced a laugh, pretending I was fine. Little did I know, it was only the beginning. By last period, the entire school was buzzing, and hashtag Pasta Princess was trending on the school chat groups. And I still had no clue who was behind it. To make it worse, that night, the second I put my phone down, ding, new message.
That was quite the show you put on, Pasta Princess. Time for round 2. Kiss Ryder Walsh tomorrow, or the truth comes out.
I blinked. Ryder Walsh? The literal school heartthrob/basketball god/actual boyfriend of the meanest girl in school? Absolutely not. Furious, I typed back, "No," and I got an instant reply.
Then enjoy watching the whole school find out you're the daughter of a criminal, complete with receipts.
With that threat, an attachment popped up, and when I opened it, my stomach dropped. It was a police report of my dad's arrest and all the nasty stuff he was being charged with. How would this psycho even obtain such a confidential document? It didn't matter, though. I was backed in a corner, and the only way out was to kiss Ryder freaking Walsh. So the next day, I went looking for him, and there he was, sitting next to his girlfriend, Bianca, aka the Queen Bee, aka part-time model and full-time drama queen. It was now or never, so without warning, I kissed him.
What on earth?
In a split second, Bianca's palm landed on my face, and I stumbled backward. Bianca, back off! She just kissed my boyfriend! I don't care. If you hit her again, I'll end you. Surprised, Bianca blinked, obviously waiting for Ryder to stand up to Jace. But Ryder was still floating, completely dazed by the kiss. And you, do you have a death wish or something? Come on, let's get out of here before Bianca's minions descend. Thanks for coming to my rescue, but I had it under control. Just then, my phone vibrated with an incoming text, and I freaked out before I even opened it. I tried to breathe and act normal, but it was too late. Jace had already noticed. Hey, what's wrong? You look like you're about to pass out. As I continued to spiral, he took a step towards me, and the next thing I knew, I was in his arms. And I don't know why, but I cracked. I sobbed for what felt like hours. When I finally managed to pull myself together, I showed him the texts, and also told him about my dad. Honestly, I expected him to walk away, but he didn't. I'm gonna find whoever's doing this. I promise. But how? I need to show you something. A short bike ride later, we arrived at Jace's house, and when he led me to his room, I gasped. Holy wow! Are you Batman? Nah, I just like programming and stuff. Now let's find a loser blackmailing you. Anxious, I watched Jace plug my phone in, but as soon as he started typing, a bunch of numbers appeared on his computer screen, and then, bam! Everything went black. What just happened? No idea. Hang on. Jace was furiously typing, and that's when my phone buzzed once. Wait, someone just deleted everything on your phone. Okay, whoever this person is, they're starting to freak me out. I'm going to find them, I promise. I won't let anyone hurt you. He looked down at me. We were just inches apart. Was this about to be the moment? No. Yes. Maybe. I have to go. Gabby, wait. When I was out of his room, I heard something. Someone was singing. I followed a voice, which led me into a room down the hall from Jace's room. Inside, dolls, lined up in perfect rows on shelves. On the bed, on the desk, everywhere. And in the middle of it all, Maddie. Maddie? What? How? Why are you here?
Oh, you didn't know? I'm Jace's sister.
His what now? Before I could process it, Jace appeared at the door. Gabby, you need to leave. Now. Whoa! Slow down. What is going on? Why didn't you tell me Maddie is your sister? It's complicated. Look, can we talk tomorrow? It's getting late. With that, Jace led me out and shut the door in my face. What the actual frack? The next day, I went to school ready for answers from Jace. But before I could find him, I saw the principal standing next to my locker. What's going on? Miss Monroe, I received an anonymous tip that you stole tests from my office. What? No, I didn't. Well, if you're telling the truth, open your locker so I can search it. Hands shaking, I opened my locker, and my jaw dropped when a stack of papers fell out. I don't know how those got in my locker. I swear, Enough! You're suspended, Gabriella. Wait, I didn't do this! But the principal didn't even blink. His mind was already made up. And then... Ding.
Looks like the apple didn't fall far from the tree. You're a criminal, just like your dad. Enjoy your suspension, Gabriella.
I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just walked home in silence. By the time I got to Grandma's house, I was boiling. You want secrets? Fine, I'll give you secrets. I pulled out my phone and hit record. Hi, I'm Gabby Monroe, and I haven't been honest with you. Before I moved to this town, I used to be rich. But then the FBI showed up and arrested my dad. And now, someone here at school has been blackmailing me over it. All those crazy things I did at school, someone made me do it. But I'm done being a puppet. Whoever you are, you're pathetic, and I'm not scared of you. Before I could chicken out, I hit send to the entire school. Little did I know, the next day was about to be the craziest day of my life. I woke up to a bazillion messages. Everyone at school had watched my video. Some felt sorry for me, while others hated my guts. But there was one message that caught my attention.
Well played, Gabby. You got guts, and I respect that. You want to know who I am? Meet me at the school rooftop tonight.
I knew it was a trap the moment I saw the message, but I went anyway, because I was done running. Then I discovered something that shook me to the core. It was Maddie?
I knew you'd come.
What's going on? Why did you do all of this?
I was just trying to protect him from you.
Protect who?
Who else? Jace, of course. I saw the way he looked at you, like you were some goddess, but you're not. You're just like your dad, a liar. I couldn't let you hurt my Jace.
Your Jace? Isn't Jace your brother? Foster brother. I was going to be sick. Maddie liked Jace, and this whole time she'd been blackmailing me because of him. I had a gut feeling something was off the moment I saw her singing in that eerie room filled with dolls. But this was beyond my imagination. Maddie, I think you need help. The moment the words left my mouth, I knew I should never have said them. Because in the very next second, Maddie transformed into something wild, like a feral cat ready to strike.
Shut up! You don't know anything!
Then she lunged at me, her nails like daggers, a scream tearing from her throat. Before I could recover, she was on me, nails slashing through the air, wild eyes locked on mine. Maddie, stop! I stumbled backward, heart pounding, feet skidding against the gravel rooftop. One more step, and I might have lost my balance. But I didn't, because a hand grabbed me and pulled me into a hug. I got you.
Jace! I did it for you! She's a criminal!
Enough, Maddie. I've already talked to Mom and Dad. They're taking you back to the hospital tonight.
No! They can't do that! I'll be good, I promise! Please, Jace!
As Maddie fell to her knees, school security burst through the door, and a few minutes later, Maddie was taken into an ambulance. You okay? Not now, but I will be. I know I owe you some answers. And so, back at Grandma's, Jace proceeded to tell me a crazy story. Jace's mom was a psychiatrist, and a few months ago, she went to do some counseling at a group home, and that's where she met Maddie. After a few weeks of speaking to Maddie, Jace's mom had brought Maddie home to live with them. At first, Maddie seemed fine, but then she'd have moments where she completely lost it. Dad asked Mom to take her back to the group home, but I stood up for Maddie and asked Mom to let her stay. I felt sorry for her.
And that's when Maddie's obsession with you began.
Yeah, I thought it was harmless, but now I know better. I'm just glad no one got seriously hurt, and I hope she gets the help she needs. You're so kind. That's why Before he could complete his sentence, something hit my butt. Lucifer! Talk about a ruined moment. But I wasn't really mad, though. I knew Jace and I had so many more happy moments to come.